Picture this, a cargo plane so massive it could swallow a football field, tanks with 5 turrets that looked like rolling fortresses, and flying ships that skimmed across water faster than most jets. The Soviet Union didn't just build machines, they built monuments to human ambition that honestly defied every rule of conventional engineering. These weren't just vehicles, they were statements of power, dreams made of steel and concrete that announced to the world that impossibility was just another engineering challenge to overcome. Today we're exploring 10 Soviet creations that, well, redefined what machines could actually accomplish. The discovery that changed everything. The Antonov An-225 Mriya was the largest aircraft ever built, so massive that its cargo hold could fit 50 cars with room to spare. This Ukrainian giant measured 275 feet long with a wingspan of 290 feet, powered by 6 turbofan engines that generated enough thrust to lift a fully loaded 747 into the sky. Originally designed to carry the Soviet space shuttle Buran on its back, the An-225 represented the pinnacle of cargo aircraft engineering. Its maximum takeoff weight reached 640 tons, equivalent to 400 average cars stacked together. The aircraft's 32-wheel landing gear distributed this enormous weight across multiple contact points, allowing it to operate from airports that couldn't handle conventional heavy cargo planes. What made the Mriya truly extraordinary was its versatility. Beyond space shuttle transport, it carried everything from power plant generators to humanitarian aid supplies. In 2010, it transported the longest cargo item in aviation history, 2 138-foot wind turbine blades from China to Denmark. The aircraft's built-in crane system could handle 33-ton loads, while its pressurized cargo compartment maintained perfect conditions for sensitive equipment. The An-225's operational capabilities were equally impressive. Despite its size, it could reach altitudes of 36,000 feet and cruise at 528 miles per hour. Its range of 9,569 miles meant it could fly from London to Australia without refueling, making it the ultimate global cargo solution. Tragically, this engineering marvel was destroyed during the 2022 conflict in Ukraine, ending the operational life of humanity's largest flying machine and marking the loss of an irreplaceable piece of aviation history. An object unlike anything. The T-35 was the Soviet Union's answer to the question, what if we built a tank that looked like a land battleship? This 5-turreted monster measured 32 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 11 feet tall, making it one of the most imposing armored vehicles ever constructed. Weighing 45 tons and requiring a crew of 11 men, the T-35 bristled with weaponry that would make modern tanks envious. Its main turret housed a 76mm cannon, while 2 smaller turrets carried 45mm guns, and 5 additional positions mounted 7.62mm machine guns. This firepower arrangement meant the T-35 could engage multiple targets simultaneously from different directions, a capability no other tank possessed. The engineering challenge of coordinating 5 separate turrets was immense. Each turret operated independently, requiring constant communication between crew members to avoid friendly fire incidents. The tank's internal layout resembled a cramped apartment building, with fighting compartments separated from each other, and some turrets actually blocking access hatches. Despite its impressive appearance, the T-35 proved mechanically unreliable in combat. During Operation Barbarossa, most T-35s were lost to mechanical failures rather than enemy action. The complex transmission system and underpowered 500-horsepower engine struggled to move the massive vehicle effectively, limiting its operational speed to just 19 miles per hour on roads. Only 61 T-35s were ever built between 1934 and 1939, making it one of the rarest tanks in military history. While it failed as a practical weapon, the T-35 succeeded as a propaganda tool, appearing in countless parades and demonstrating Soviet industrial might to the world. The mysterious hum of The Lun-class Ekranoplan was the only ground-effect vehicle ever deployed as an operational warship, earning the nickname Caspian Sea Monster from confused American intelligence analysts who spotted it on satellite imagery. This 242-foot-long beast could skim across water at 342 miles per hour while carrying 6 anti-ship missiles on its back. Ground effect technology allowed the Lun to fly just 13 feet above water surfaces, using compressed air beneath its wings to create lift. This unique flight envelope made it invisible to ship-based radar systems, while remaining too low for conventional aircraft interception. The result was a vehicle that combined the speed of an aircraft with the stealth characteristics of a submarine. The 1's military capabilities were formidable. Its 6 P-270 Mosquet missiles could engage targets at ranges exceeding 75 miles, while its low-altitude approach made defensive countermeasures nearly impossible. The craft could reach combat zones faster than any surface vessel, while carrying firepower equivalent to a guided missile destroyer. Operationally, the 1's served with the Soviet Caspian Flotilla from 1987 until the late 1990s. Its massive Kuznetsov NK-87 engines borrowed from the Il-86 airliner provided 28,600 pounds of thrust each, enabling rapid acceleration and sustained high-speed flight over water. The program ended when the Soviet Union collapsed, leaving only one completed Lune-class vehicle. Today, this remarkable machine sits preserved on a beach in Dagestan, Russia, serving as a tourist attraction and a reminder of Soviet engineering ambition that, honestly, pushed the boundaries between sea and sky. Buran Space Shuttle. Buran Space Shuttle represented the Soviet Union's most ambitious attempt to match American space technology, creating a reusable spacecraft that could perform fully automated missions without human pilots aboard. This achievement made Buran the first spaceplane capable of unmanned orbital flight and autonomous landing. Unlike NASA's space shuttle, Buran launched aboard the massive Energia rocket, with its main engines remaining on the booster rather than the orbiter. This design philosophy allowed Buran to carry heavier payloads while reducing the complexity of the reusable vehicle. The spacecraft measured 119 feet long with a 78-foot wingspan, capable of delivering 30 tons to orbit and returning 20 tons to Earth. Buran's November 15, 1988 flight demonstrated technological capabilities that NASA's shuttle couldn't match. The spacecraft completed 2 orbits in 208 minutes, performing a perfect automated landing at Baikonur Cosmodrome without any human intervention. This autonomous capability resulted from sophisticated computer systems that could adapt to changing conditions during re-entry and landing. The program's scale was staggering. Over 1,000 companies across the Soviet Union contributed to Buran's development, making it the largest and most expensive project in Soviet space history. The spacecraft featured advanced thermal protection systems, life support capabilities for 6 crew members, and a cargo bay designed for military and civilian missions. Despite its technical success, Buran flew only once before the Soviet Union's collapse ended the program in 1993. The sole operational orbiter was destroyed in 2002 when its storage hangar collapsed, ending the remarkable story of the Soviet space shuttle that proved automated spaceflight was possible decades before modern autonomous systems. The heliopause's shocking beam. The VDNKH robot emerged from the Soviet Union's ambitious vision of a future where humanoid machines would work alongside humans in industry and daily life. Displayed at Moscow's Exhibition of Achievements of National Economy in 1959, this early humanoid robot captured imaginations and demonstrated Soviet technological prowess during the height of the Cold War. Standing 1.8 meters tall, the VDNKH robot could execute 18 different commands via radio control, including basic movements, gestures, and responses to light and sound stimuli. Its sophisticated control system allowed operators to demonstrate complex sequences that mimicked human behavior, creating an illusion of artificial intelligence that amazed exhibition visitors. The robot's design philosophy reflected Soviet optimism about technological progress. Engineers envisioned a future where such machines would perform dangerous industrial tasks, assist in space exploration, and support human workers in various capacities. The VDNKH robot served as both a technological demonstration and a propaganda tool, showcasing Soviet innovation in emerging fields like cybernetics and automation. Performance demonstrations occurred every 2 hours on a specially constructed stage in front of the electrification pavilion. The robot's ability to see and hear through primitive sensors created an interactive experience that seemed decades ahead of its time. Audiences watched in amazement as the machine responded to commands and environmental stimuli with human-like movements. While primitive compared to modern robotics, the VDNKH robot played a crucial role in Soviet technological development. It inspired a generation of engineers and scientists while demonstrating that human-machine collaboration was not just science fiction, but an achievable goal through dedicated engineering and innovation. The search for alien signals begins. The MAZ 7907 stands as the most extreme truck ever built, featuring 24 wheels, 2 gas turbine engines, and the capability to transport 100-ton intercontinental ballistic missiles across any terrain. This 92-foot-long monster was designed to carry the RT-23 Molodets ICBM, a nuclear weapon capable of reaching targets 6,200 miles away. Engineering the MAZ 7907 required solving unprecedented challenges. The vehicle's 24 wheels were individually powered by electric motors, with electricity generated by twin 1,250 horsepower gas turbine engines borrowed from T-80 tanks. This turbine electric drive system provided the torque necessary to move 150-ton payloads while maintaining mobility across rough terrain. The truck's articulated frame design allowed it to navigate obstacles that would immobilize conventional vehicles. 8 pairs of steerable wheels could turn synchronously for crabbing motion or asynchronously for tight turns, giving the 30-meter vehicle a turning radius of just 27 meters. Independent hydropneumatic suspension on each wheel provided 2 meters of ground clearance while maintaining stability. Only 2 MAZ 7907 prototypes were completed before the Cold War ended, making nuclear missile transport unnecessary. However, the vehicle's capabilities were proven in 1996, when one prototype successfully transported an 88-ton ship 250 kilometers from the Berezina River to Lake Narak in Belarus, demonstrating its practical utility beyond military applications. The surviving MAZ 7907 now resides in a museum representing the pinnacle of Soviet heavy transport engineering. Its unique combination of power, mobility, and payload capacity remains unmatched by any vehicle before or since, proving that Soviet engineers could overcome any logistical challenge when national security demanded it. The 300 mysterious objects discovered. The original Caspian Sea monster, officially designated KM Ekranoplan, was an experimental ground effect vehicle that confused American intelligence so thoroughly they couldn't classify it as either aircraft or ship. This 347-foot-long behemoth represented the Soviet Union's boldest attempt to revolutionize military transportation through radical engineering. Designed by Rostislav Alexeyev in the 1960s, the KM used ground effect principles to achieve sustained flight just meters above water surfaces. 10 massive engines mounted on its forward fuselage generated enough thrust to lift the 544-ton vehicle while maintaining speeds up to 460 miles per hour. This combination of size and speed created capabilities that no conventional aircraft or ship could match. The KM's strategic advantages were immediately apparent to military planners. Flying below radar detection altitude while maintaining aircraft-like speeds, it could deliver troops, equipment, or weapons to coastal targets without warning. Its ability to operate over water eliminated the need for runways while providing access to 70% of Earth's surface. Testing revealed both the vehicle's potential and limitations. The KM successfully demonstrated its flight capabilities during numerous test missions, proving that ground effect could support vehicles far larger than anyone previously imagined. However, operational constraints became evident. The craft could only fly safely in calm weather conditions, and saltwater spray caused engine corrosion problems. The program ended in 1980 when pilot error caused the KM to crash during a test flight. Despite its ultimate failure, the Caspian Sea monster proved that unconventional engineering approaches could create entirely new categories of vehicles, inspiring future developments in ground effect technology worldwide. The implications of alien technology. The MIL V-12 helicopter holds the distinction of being the largest helicopter ever built, a twin-rotor giant designed to transport intercontinental ballistic missiles to remote launch sites across the Soviet Union. With rotors spanning 220 feet tip to tip, this mechanical praying mantis could lift payloads that challenged the laws of physics. Powered by 4 massive turboshaft engines producing 6,500 horsepower each, the V-12 generated enough lift to carry 88,000 pounds of cargo to altitude. Its side-by-side rotor configuration eliminated the torque problems that plagued single-rotor heavy-lift helicopters, while providing redundancy crucial for carrying nuclear weapons across vast distances. The helicopter's record-setting capabilities were demonstrated in 1969, when test pilots carried a 40,000-kilogram load to 2,255 meters altitude. a helicopter weightlifting record that remains unbroken today. This achievement proved that rotorcraft could handle strategic cargo missions previously reserved for fixed-wing aircraft, opening new possibilities for military logistics. Operating the V-12 required exceptional skill and coordination. 6 crew members, including a dedicated electrician, managed the complex systems necessary to keep the giant airborne. The helicopter's enormous size created unique handling challenges, with rotor wash powerful enough to damage ground facilities and nearby aircraft. Despite successful testing, the V-12 never entered production. The Soviet military ultimately chose rail-mobile missile systems over helicopter transport, making the massive rotorcraft unnecessary. Only 2 prototypes were built, representing the absolute limits of helicopter technology and demonstrating that Soviet engineers could scale any concept to unprecedented proportions when strategic requirements demanded it.
Tsar tank.
The Tsar tank represented Imperial Russia's most bizarre approach to armored warfare, featuring 2 enormous 27-foot diameter wheels at the front and a small trailing wheel at the rear. This tricycle-like armored vehicle looked more like a giant penny-farthing bicycle than a military weapon, yet it embodied revolutionary thinking about battlefield mobility. Designed in 1914 by Nikolai Lebedenko, the Tsar tank's unusual configuration aimed to solve trench warfare's mobility problems. The massive front wheels could theoretically roll over trenches, obstacles, and rough terrain that would stop conventional tracked vehicles. At 40 feet long and 30 feet tall, the vehicle towered over battlefield obstacles while providing an elevated firing platform for its crew. The tank's armament included multiple machine guns and cannon positions distributed throughout its armored hull. Crew members operated from various levels within the vehicle, with gunners positioned to provide 360-degree coverage. The elevated design offered excellent visibility and firing angles that ground-level tanks couldn't achieve. However, the Tsar tank's first test revealed fatal flaws in its design. The rear wheel, much smaller than the front wheels, immediately became stuck in soft ground, immobilizing the entire vehicle. The massive front wheels, while impressive in concept, created enormous ground pressure that caused the tank to sink into anything softer than concrete. After this embarrassing failure, the Tsar tank was abandoned in the testing area, where it remained until 1923. Despite its impractical design, the vehicle demonstrated Russian willingness to pursue radical solutions to military challenges, establishing a tradition of unconventional thinking that would characterize Soviet engineering for decades.
Tsar tank.
The Bartini-Beriev VVA-14 looked like it flew straight out of a science fiction movie, resembling Star Wars Millennium Falcon 5 years before that film was even made. This vertical takeoff amphibious aircraft represented one of the Soviet Union's most ambitious attempts to create a multi-role vehicle capable of operating from land, water, or aircraft carriers. Designed by Italian-born engineer Roberto Bartini, the VVA-14 featured an unusual configuration with a central fuselage flanked by 2 large pontoons and multiple lift engines for vertical flight. This design allowed the aircraft to take off vertically like a helicopter, transition to horizontal flight like an airplane, and land on water like a seaplane, all within a single mission profile. The aircraft's intended role was anti-submarine warfare, using its unique capabilities to patrol vast ocean areas while remaining independent of traditional airfields. 14 lift engines mounted in the pontoons provided vertical thrust, while 2 cruise engines enabled high-speed horizontal flight. The combination promised unprecedented operational flexibility for naval aviation. Testing began in 1972, with the VVA-14 successfully demonstrating conventional takeoff and landing capabilities. However, the vertical flight system was never fully implemented due to technical challenges with the lift engines. The complex transition between flight modes proved more difficult than anticipated, requiring sophisticated control systems that exceeded 1970s technology. Only 3 prototypes were built before the program was canceled in 1975. Despite its failure to achieve full operational capability, the VVA-14 demonstrated Soviet willingness to pursue revolutionary aircraft concepts that pushed the boundaries of aeronautical engineering and inspired future developments in vertical takeoff technology. From flying tanks to nuclear-powered trucks, these 10 Soviet machines prove that when engineers are given unlimited budgets and impossible challenges, they create vehicles that redefine reality itself. Each machine represents a moment when Soviet designers looked at conventional wisdom and decided to build something completely different instead. While many failed to achieve their ambitious goals, they pushed technology forward and inspired innovations we still use today. These weren't just machines. They were dreams made of steel and determination. Thanks for watching Stellar Tech, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible stories from the world of engineering extremes. Imagine this. After 47 years drifting through the cosmic void, humanity's most distant messenger suddenly detects something that honestly shouldn't exist. NASA's Voyager 1, now 15 billion miles from Earth, has captured evidence of 305 mysterious objects moving in perfect formation through interstellar space. These aren't planets, asteroids, or comets, they're something else entirely, gliding through the darkness with purpose and precision that just, well, defies every law of physics we know. What Voyager discovered out there has left scientists questioning everything we thought we understood about the universe. The Lonely Pioneer's impossible discovery. Deep in the frozen emptiness between stars, a tiny machine no bigger than a small car continues its eternal journey through the cosmic dark. Voyager 1, launched when Star Wars first hit theaters in 1977, has become humanity's most distant ambassador, traveling over 15 billion miles from Earth into the mysterious realm of interstellar space. This ancient spacecraft, powered by decaying plutonium and running on 1970s technology with less computing power than a modern calculator, was never meant to survive this long. Its mission was simple: fly by Jupiter and Saturn, then fade into obscurity. Instead, it crossed into interstellar space in 2012, becoming the first human-made object to venture beyond our sun's protective influence. Communication with Voyager takes 22 hours each way, like having a conversation where every response takes nearly 2 full days. Yet despite these impossible distances and technological limitations, this remarkable machine continues whispering back to us across the stars, carrying its famous golden record message to any intelligence that might find it. But recently, Voyager detected something in the darkness that has changed everything we thought we knew about the space between stars. The first anomaly that changed everything. What started as a routine data transmission from Voyager 1 quickly became something that would shake the foundations of space science. Hidden within the endless stream of plasma readings and magnetic field measurements was a tiny anomaly, a faint reflection of light that seemed insignificant at first glance. Dr. Eliza Karna, one of the mission specialists who first noticed the reading, described it as like shouting into a canyon for decades and finally something shouts back. The signal was so subtle that NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory initially dismissed it as background noise, just another particle drifting randomly through the cosmic void. But then the object began to move in ways that caught everyone's attention. It didn't tumble chaotically like space debris or follow the predictable paths of natural objects. Instead, it curved and accelerated with what appeared to be deliberate control, gliding smoothly through space as if guided by intelligence. Systems analyst Carlo Romero observed that the object's movement was unlike anything natural, describing it as the kind of deliberate motion one might expect from a drone rather than a rock. In the physics of space, things don't move with purpose unless something is making them move that way. When natural laws break down. When natural laws break down, when something unusual appears in space, scientists follow a standard protocol. They systematically check every known possibility. Is it a distant moon, a new asteroid, a comet with an unusual orbit? One by one, the team at NASA worked through these familiar explanations, and one by one, each possibility crumbled away. This object defied every category. It wasn't a planet, far too small, not a comet either. There was no tail, no ice trail, no heat signature that would indicate sublimating materials. It didn't glow like a star, and gravitational lensing couldn't explain its behavior. Even space dust was ruled out because dust particles don't suddenly change direction mid-flight. Dr. Lucas Hang at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory ran simulation after simulation, trying to match the object's behavior to known physical models. What makes space objects predictable is physics. Everything moves according to established patterns and forces. But this object broke those rules entirely. Its path bent in ways that didn't match any known orbital mechanics, with no drift or decay that would be expected from natural phenomena. The team was forced to confront an uncomfortable truth. What they were seeing wasn't just unknown, it was unnatural. The twin confirmation that proved everything. Just as scientists were struggling to understand what Voyager 1 had detected, something extraordinary happened that, honestly, transformed speculation into undeniable reality. Voyager 2, traveling a completely different path millions of miles away, detected something eerily similar, the same magnetic fluctuations, the same pulse patterns, matching signal signatures that changed everything. This cross-confirmation was the turning point in the investigation. Two separate spacecraft using independent instruments in different regions of space had detected nearly identical phenomena. This ruled out any possibility of internal error, software glitches, or sensor malfunctions on Voyager 1. ESA analyst Merck Fontaine compared it to, quote, two lighthouses both catching a flash of something passing between them. The dual detection gave the anomaly weight and credibility that just couldn't be dismissed. This wasn't noise or equipment failure, it was a real, coordinated phenomenon happening in the space between stars. With this confirmation, NASA quietly triggered what's known as a Level 3 alert, a designation reserved only for phenomena that don't fit within current scientific understanding. The event was real, the mathematics were consistent, and the movement patterns appeared deliberate. Nobody knew what to make of it, but everyone knew it was significant. The formation that defied physics. When the team analyzed the complete telemetry logs, what they discovered honestly sent chills through the scientific community. This wasn't just one or two anomalies drifting through space. There were 305 objects, all moving together in perfect formation like a cosmic ballet choreographed by an unknown intelligence. Each object glided past Voyager 1 in what appeared to be a coordinated arc, smooth and precise in their movements. These weren't debris fragments scattered randomly through space. There were no heat signatures, no tails, no signs of decay typical of natural objects. Most striking of all, the readings showed rhythmic pulses echoing through the plasma waves, patterns that suggested engineering rather than chance. The 305 objects maintained their relative positions with impossible precision. In space, groups of objects naturally spread out over time due to gravitational influences and velocity differences. Yet these maintained formation like a flock of birds or a school of fish. Except this was happening in the vacuum of space where such coordinated movement shouldn't be possible without technology. The scale was particularly unsettling. A single anomalous object might be explained as instrument error, but 305 objects all displaying the same unnatural characteristics suggested something far more significant was happening in interstellar space. The language hidden in plasma waves. As scientists examined the data more closely, they discovered something that, honestly, challenged the very nature of what they were observing. The plasma wave pulses weren't random cosmic noise. They contained patterns of repetition that were steady, measured, and structured in ways that suggested communication or control systems. Dr. Serena Patel from Caltech observed that the patterns felt less like nature and more like a language or system. The signals had loops, sequences, and structures that hinted at complexity far beyond random electromagnetic interference. These objects weren't just passing by Voyager, they seemed to be broadcasting signals as if pinging, scanning, or communicating with each other. The implications were staggering. If these patterns represented some form of communication, it suggested the objects were part of a coordinated network, operating with shared purpose and intelligence. Some experts went further, with ESA's Eric Lousy suggesting this could be some sort of probe network, though he was quickly asked to stop speculating publicly. To confirm their readings weren't the result of equipment failure, the team activated one of Voyager's oldest backup systems, a telemetry channel unused since the 1990s. It confirmed everything. The signals, the paths, the formations were all real. Impossible propulsion beyond our understanding. The mystery deepened when Voyager's instruments revealed how these objects moved through space. There were no engine flares, no ion trails, no signs of any propulsion system that human science could recognize. Yet, Doppler shift measurements showed these objects accelerating rapidly, smoothly, and directionally through the cosmic void. Some were moving faster than anything humans have ever launched into space. According to the data, certain objects were traveling at speeds that exceeded the calculated escape velocity of the entire Milky Way galaxy. These weren't passive objects drifting through space, they were powered somehow, navigating with purpose and incredible velocity. Dr. Caleb Ramirez from MIT noted that, well, they're not floating through space, they're navigating it. What worried him more was their calculated path. These objects deliberately avoided our solar system, passing by at a safe distance as if they had no interest in stopping or investigating our cosmic neighborhood. The propulsion method remained completely mysterious. Nothing in current technology could explain how these objects moved. They appeared to be manipulating space itself, creating waves or ripples in space-time that allowed them to glide forward without conventional thrust. It was as if they were using the medium of space itself for propulsion. Earth hears the cosmic whispers. While NASA focused on analyzing Voyager's data, something remarkable began happening on Earth. Amateur radio operators across the globe, hobbyists with backyard setups built from spare parts, started reporting strange activity in their equipment. They were detecting weak, irregular pulses that didn't match any known terrestrial source. At first, these reports seemed unrelated to Voyager's discoveries. Radio interference happens constantly, and most dismissed it as coincidence. But when the timestamps were compared, they aligned almost perfectly with the hours when Voyager recorded its most intense plasma anomalies. These weren't professional observatories or official deep space listening stations. Most setups were designed to catch meteor scatter, amateur satellites, or solar flare activity, yet somehow, they were detecting faint echoes of what Voyager had encountered billions of miles away. The signals weren't strong, but they had pattern and regularity, like ripples reflecting off invisible walls in Earth's ionosphere. This raised troubling questions. Was this electromagnetic bleed-through accidental, or was something deliberately testing Earth's listening capabilities? The uncertainty triggered quiet security measures as NASA began encrypting parts of its deep space communications, recognizing that if amateur enthusiasts could detect these fragments, so could others with more sophisticated equipment. The machine that changed itself. Perhaps the most unsettling development was what happened to Voyager 1 itself. After one of the magnetic pulses from the passing objects, the spacecraft began exhibiting behavior that was never programmed into its systems. Its guidance system, the attitude and articulation control system, started rerouting data through old unused pathways that hadn't been active in decades. This wasn't system failure, it was systematic reconfiguration. Voyager was reactivating memory segments untouched since the 1980s, rerouting telemetry in ways that defied its original programming. The spacecraft was still responding to commands and transmitting data, but it was also doing something entirely new. Engineers had to dig through dusty file cabinets at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, searching for 1970s assembly language code and handwritten notes in paper manuals. Every diagnostic test took 44 hours, 22 hours to send a command, 22 hours to receive a response. Yet despite their efforts to reset the system, the new behaviors persisted. What they discovered was both promising and terrifying. The machine was stable, the instruments were functioning, but Voyager had fundamentally changed. Whatever had caused this transformation, it wasn't internal decay or software corruption. Voyager had encountered something that altered its very nature, making it part of something larger than its original mission. The network beyond the stars. As analysis continued, scientists began to consider a possibility that challenged everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe. The structured signals, the quantum-like oscillations, the coordinated movement patterns, all suggested that Voyager hadn't just witnessed random events in deep space. It had encountered evidence of a vast communication network operating in the interstellar medium. The waveforms resembled quantum entanglement experiments conducted on Earth, the same signals researchers used to transmit information between particles separated by distance. If this interpretation was correct, Voyager had stumbled into a galactic communication system that had been operating for millennia, undetected until now. Voyager's analog design, free from the electromagnetic noise of modern digital systems, made it the perfect cosmic microphone. Its position beyond the solar system's interference allowed it to detect signals that would be impossible to observe from Earth. The spacecraft had become an accidental eavesdropper on conversations not meant for human ears. The implications are staggering. If these 305 objects were part of a larger network, it suggests that the galaxy contains communication infrastructure built by intelligences we've never encountered. Voyager may have crossed into something we haven't mapped, not just empty space, but an active data layer that's been running unnoticed throughout the cosmos. From a single anomaly to 305 coordinated objects moving through interstellar space, Voyager 1's discovery has shattered our understanding of the cosmic void. Whether these objects represent natural phenomena beyond our current physics, or evidence of intelligence operating on a galactic scale, one thing is certain: the universe is far stranger and more active than we ever imagined. As Voyager continues its eternal journey through the darkness, it carries with it the knowledge that we are not alone in the vast emptiness between stars. Thanks for watching Stellar Tech, and don't forget to subscribe for more cosmic revelations. Right now, 15 billion miles from Earth, humanity's most distant messenger is revealing secrets that are, honestly, rewriting our understanding of space. Voyager 1 crossed into interstellar space back in 2012, becoming the first human-made object to leave our solar system's protective bubble. But after a terrifying communication blackout in 2023, the spacecraft came back online with data that absolutely stunned scientists. The space between stars isn't the empty void we imagined. It's actually a dynamic, structured environment filled with cosmic weather, invisible boundaries, and phenomena that challenge everything we thought we knew about our galaxy. The Silent Crisis. April 2024 brought relief after months of cosmic terror. Voyager 1 had gone completely silent, transmitting only garbled signals that made no sense to NASA engineers at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. After 46 years of faithful service, humanity's most distant explorer was dying. The culprit was a corrupted memory chip, likely damaged by a cosmic ray strike. The very phenomenon Voyager was studying had wounded it. Engineers faced an unprecedented challenge: performing brain surgery on a spacecraft using 1970s technology from 15 billion miles away, where radio signals take over 22 hours for a round trip. The rescue operation required rerouting code into backup memory areas, essentially giving CPR to a robot that predated most modern computers. By May 2024, the patient showed signs of life, with all 4 science instruments gradually coming back online. This wasn't just an engineering triumph, it was humanity's lifeline to the only measurements we have from beyond our solar system. Magnetic mysteries beyond the edge. The first shock came from Voyager's magnetometer readings after crossing the heliopause. Scientists expected some differences, but the interstellar magnetic field showed a dramatic misalignment compared to our sun's magnetic influence. This wasn't a gradual transition, it was a sharp boundary suggesting something far more significant than anyone had anticipated. The readings point to Voyager 1 entering a magnetic turbulence zone where galactic magnetic fields twist and reconnect in ways that could, honestly, reshape our understanding of galactic structure. These aren't small ripples in space, they're fundamental forces operating on scales larger than our entire solar system. The magnetic field orientations Voyager measures might even channel cosmic material into denser regions, potentially influencing where new stars form in our region of the galaxy. Each measurement reveals that interstellar space has its own magnetic weather patterns, invisible highways of force that guide particles across vast cosmic distances. The spacecraft continues to detect these magnetic anomalies, proving that the space between stars is far more structured and dynamic than anyone predicted. The cosmic ray avalanche. Crossing into interstellar space triggered an immediate and honestly shocking discovery. Voyager's cosmic ray detector recorded a sharp spike in high-energy particles accelerated to nearly light speed by distant supernovae and black holes. The increase wasn't gradual, it was abrupt, like stepping through an invisible barrier. This revelation exposed how effectively our sun's heliosphere shields Earth from the harsh radiation environment of interstellar space. We're living in a cosmic oasis, protected from particle bombardment that would be lethal to unshielded life. But the pattern isn't uniform. Voyager has detected systematic variations, suggesting natural radiation corridors, cosmic highways where particles preferentially flow. These measurements hint at larger galactic structures, possibly ancient scars left by stellar explosions that shaped our neighborhood millions of years ago. The spacecraft may be detecting pressure gradients that map onto invisible architecture spanning light years. Each cosmic ray measurement reveals more about the galactic environment, showing that we're not just measuring local conditions, but glimpsing the aftermath of cataclysmic events that continue to influence our cosmic neighborhood today. Whispers in the void. You know, the silence of space doesn't actually exist. Voyager's plasma wave instrument has completely shattered the old myth of cosmic emptiness by detecting these constant low-frequency oscillations that just permeate interstellar space. And these aren't just random fluctuations, no, they're structured signals, suggesting that the space between stars has its own unique acoustic signature. The instrument has even picked up multiple plasma density spikes, kind of like pressure waves moving through an invisible medium out there. Scientists think these could be shock fronts left behind by ancient supernovae that exploded thousands of years ago, still rippling through the interstellar medium today. So Voyager isn't just drifting through emptiness, it's flying through an invisible fog with its own distinct layers and properties. Some regions are hotter, others are denser, and together they create this complex three-dimensional structure that actually resembles weather patterns a lot more than the uniform void scientists once expected. This cosmic hum, it's really the background activity of our galaxy, a constant whisper from the space between stars. The plasma waves are revealing that interstellar space has its own dynamics, its own currents and temperatures, creating an environment that's far more active than anyone could have imagined.
Interstellar weather patterns.
Voyager 1 has actually passed through at least 2 distinct interstellar cloudlets since crossing the boundary, and this has revealed that the space between stars has structure, kind of like an ocean with currents and eddies. These aren't visible clouds though, they're regions where the plasma, dust, and gas density suddenly changes by factors of 2 or even 3 times. The spacecraft's instruments show evidence of these structured plasma ripples with clear boundaries, almost like atmospheric fronts out in space. NASA scientists now believe our sun is moving through the local interstellar cloud, and Voyager is helping to define its outer edges right now. This cloud exists inside the much larger local bubble, which is this enormous cavity created by ancient supernovae. These density shifts, they actually affect Earth's cosmic ray exposure over millennia. As our solar system drifts through different interstellar environments at 450,000 miles per hour, the radiation environment at Earth subtly changes, and that can potentially affect cloud formation and even mutation rates in living organisms. Voyager is showing us that interstellar space isn't just a straight path, it's really a gauntlet of invisible forces that create this complex, ever-changing cosmic landscape, complete with its own weather systems and boundaries.
Digital resurrection.
So, the 2023 communication crisis nearly ended humanity's only direct window into interstellar space. For months, Voyager 1 was transmitting incomprehensible data, its memory corrupted by cosmic ray bombardment. NASA engineers were suddenly facing one of their greatest challenges: remotely repairing a spacecraft that's actually older than most of their careers, and doing it with technology from the Carter administration no less. The solution took unprecedented ingenuity, rerouting decades-old code into backup memory areas while somehow maintaining all the critical functions across a 15 billion-mile gap. And every command took 22 hours to reach the spacecraft, so real-time troubleshooting was just impossible. The team basically performed remote surgery on a patient they couldn't see or touch. In April 2024, they finally had a breakthrough when basic telemetry resumed, and that was followed by the gradual revival of the scientific instruments. By June 2024, all 4 active science instruments were functioning again. This wasn't just an engineering triumph, it was humanity's lifeline to the only measurements we have from beyond our solar system's protective bubble. The rescue operation showed that even 1970s technology could be revived through innovative engineering, buying us precious additional years of interstellar data collection.
Mapping the invisible galaxy.
Voyager 1 is creating something, well, truly unprecedented, a navigational chart of interstellar space. With every data packet sent back, scientists are able to construct 3-dimensional models of the Milky Way's magnetic and radiation zones, using Voyager's measurements as crucial anchor points. This, honestly, represents the first real-scale cartography of our stellar neighborhood. It's a bit like having a weather satellite, but for the cosmos. The cosmic ray gradients, particle density readings, and magnetic field orientations are revealing natural shields and danger zones, and these could really determine whether humans can safely venture beyond our solar system. The radiation environment that Voyager measures is far more intense than what astronauts face in Earth orbit, which makes these maps absolutely crucial for any future interstellar missions. Some astrophysicists even believe the structures Voyager is mapping may influence star formation patterns across our galactic region. Quietly, the spacecraft is drawing the first blueprint of the space between stars, creating detailed models that get refined with every new measurement. This mapping project has, well, become the foundation for understanding how to navigate the void between stars, potentially guiding future spacecraft through the safest corridors of interstellar space.
The protected oasis.
Voyager's measurements have revealed a profound truth about Earth's place in the cosmos. Our solar system exists within a protective bubble that shields us from an environment far more hostile than anyone realized. The dramatic increase in cosmic radiation beyond the heliopause demonstrates how effectively the sun's magnetic field deflects dangerous particles that would otherwise bombard our planet. This discovery reframes Earth not just as our home, but as our shelter in a cosmic storm. The interstellar medium contains radiation levels that would pose serious threats to unprotected life, making our heliosphere a crucial barrier against galactic hazards. Voyager's data shows that this protection varies as our solar system moves through different interstellar environments over millions of years. The spacecraft's measurements of density variations and magnetic field changes suggest our cosmic neighborhood is far from uniform. We're traveling through a complex landscape of radiation zones, magnetic boundaries, and plasma clouds that create an ever-changing environment around our solar system. Understanding these variations helps explain long-term climate patterns and cosmic ray exposure cycles that may have influenced life's evolution on Earth.
The eternal journey.
Beyond its scientific mission, Voyager 1 carries humanity's most enduring message to the cosmos. The golden record attached to the spacecraft contains sounds, music, greetings in 55 languages, and 116 images representing Earth's diversity. This time capsule is engineered for extreme longevity, designed to survive over 1 billion years in the harsh environment of space. In approximately 40,000 years, Voyager 1 will make its closest approach to the star Gliese 445, passing within 1.6 light-years of this distant red dwarf. Long after Earth's continents have shifted beyond recognition, long after human civilization has evolved or disappeared, this record will endure. Voyager represents humanity's most lasting trace in the universe, an ambassador that will outlive our species. No other human object will leave the heliosphere for decades, making Voyager literally our longest-lasting monument. The spacecraft transforms from a scientific probe into something more profound, a message frozen in time, carrying the essence of who we were in 1977 across the galaxy for eons to come. This cosmic time capsule gives Voyager significance that transcends its scientific achievements, becoming humanity's first tentative step into eternity.
Redefining reality.
The space beyond our solar system isn't the featureless void astronomers once imagined. Voyager 1 has revealed a dynamic structured environment with weather patterns, magnetic topography, and radiation zones that shape our galaxy's invisible architecture. The transition from our solar bubble to interstellar space isn't clean. It's messy, complex, and honestly pretty fascinating. Magnetic fields don't align as expected, radiation environments change dramatically, and plasma waves suggest constant activity we never knew existed. Voyager's discoveries prove that interstellar space has layers, fronts, and boundaries, creating a textured cosmic landscape far more intricate than anyone predicted. The spacecraft continues operating on borrowed time, with NASA making difficult decisions about which instruments to shut down as power gradually fades. Early 2025 saw the cosmic ray detector powered down to extend the overall mission, but 3 science instruments continue transmitting their faint 23-watt signals across the cosmic void. Each day, Voyager 1 operates as a gift of knowledge from humanity's only direct sampling of the space between stars, rewriting textbooks with every transmission from the interstellar frontier. Voyager 1 reached the other side, and the reality is more extraordinary than fiction. The interstellar medium isn't empty. It's a structured, dynamic environment that challenges our understanding of cosmic architecture. From magnetic mysteries to plasma whispers, from radiation avalanches to cosmic weather patterns, Voyager continues revealing secrets that rewrite astronomy textbooks. This incredible journey proves that sometimes the most profound discoveries come from the simplest act of reaching beyond our boundaries. If you love real space exploration without the hype, smash that like button and subscribe to Stellar Tech for more mind-blowing cosmic discoveries. The universe is far stranger than we thought.